So, hey YouTube, I'm here. Jazzy Gems in the flesh. It's me. Okay, so hey y'all. Um, yesterday we discussed. Um, we yesterday we were talking about the 13 colonies. The reason we discussed the 13 colonies is because our family ancestral history is attached and tied up to those 13 colonies. Okay, so the 13 colonies are actually, the number 13 is sacred for the Aztecs, the Aztec warriors. So, first, before we talk about the 13 colonies, can we talk about the number 13 and how sacred it is? So, the ancient Aztecs, they are an advanced civilization. The Aztecs are actually they grow their own food. That's agriculture. So they would build these sophisticated technology to help them grow their food, to help them grow their corn, to help them even to splice the seed to form new types of food, right? So they was able to cultivate their food, okay? Cultivate. So these were some cultivators, okay? So with them being agriculturalists and cultivators and them having a sacred connection with the land, these people, these people, aka these Aztecs, Grand Rising. So these people, aka these Aztecs, are a ancient advanced civilization. Now the Aztecs are what we call the indigenous people. The Aztecs, they are actually descendants of the Amazons, okay? So these Aztecs are Amazonian. So that means they come from Mexico. They come from the underworld. They call Mexico the underworld. They call this the upper world. That is how they used to describe the two lands according to the Book of the Dead, right? So these ancient Aztecs, they would talk about the 13 different moons. Now, the reason the Aztecs, the number 13 was sacred to them is because the number 13 is also dealing with the universe. Um, they say it's 13 moons. The reason it's 13 moons because that's the calendar that the Aztecs used in order to plant their food, plant their gardens, to reap and sow. So 13 is very significant when it comes down to agriculture and cultivating and gardening. So this is what we call living off the land. So the ancient Aztecs were living off the land. They didn't go to the grocery store to buy their food. They grew their own food. They didn't go to the mall to buy an outfit. They actually had needle and thread and would sew. They would sew fig leaves together. They would sew animal skins together. They would sew materials that they would find on the earth because the earth was their provider. So they would say that the earth is the Lord. Okay? So that's when we say that they had different gods, nature was their God because they gave gratitude to the sun because the sun would grow their food. Without that sun shining that sunlight, these people wouldn't have food. So the sun was very, very part, a very, very detrimental part of their worship. It wasn't that they was outside worshiping the sun. The word worship means to reverence, to respect, to pay homage. So they was paying homage to the sun because without the sun, there is no heat, there is no light, there is no intelligence. The sun is the source of all reality. So these were, in fact, the sun people. These people, everything they did it based around the sun. When they built the temples and the pyramids, they built them based off of the sun position in the sky, the stars, the moon. That's the universe. Everything that they did was based off of the universe, the calendar system, the watering system, the underground tunnels that kept the reserve water, the trees that were large and massive called giants. There were giant trees and they could build houses inside of these trees. So they actually called them the tree people. If you ever seen Avatar or even the movie 100, there are several different movies that you could go and watch, and they're depicting these people that are living in the trees, and they call them tree people. Even in the Bible, it tells you that Methuselah, which is Enoch's father, lived in a tree. They teach us that we are these tree people. We have these connections with these trees. Greetings, greetings. We have these connections with these trees, meaning we exchange molecules with these trees, literally exchange molecules with these trees. When we breathe, we're releasing carbon. This tree needs this carbon. This tree inhales this carbon and takes the carbon and it actually cleanses the carbon and turns it into oxygen because it purifies it. So the tree is a part of the agriculture system. It's also a part of the ecosystem. So these Aztecs were also scientists. So they understood the ecosystem. They understood the connection between the animal kingdom. They understood the plant kingdom. They understood the fungal kingdom. They understood the bacteria kingdom. They understood that all these kingdoms are biology. So they studied these different forms of life and they knew that all life was sacred. So they created ways to connect to all these different life forces. They created ways to teach knowledge to connect to all of these energies because everything that lives has a vibration. Everything that lives has a frequency. And we was in tune with these frequencies and with these vibrations, with everything. We documented everything. We studied everything. We understood as much as we could about anything and everything. That's what made us such an advanced people. The knowledge that we had, the knowledge of the things around us. So, when we were at that state and we were living in that state, we fell from that because now people don't know what moon it is. You could walk up to somebody and ask them what position is the moon in. They look at you like you crazy. If you say, if you talk about the moon to certain people, they'll tell you that's voodoo. They'll tell you that's witchcraft. They'll tell you that's demonic, that's evil, that's wicked. Why? Because they don't know that the Aztecs was persecuted and the Aztecs were baptized and the Aztecs was converted into Christians and the Aztecs was converted into Christianity where they were taught that astronomy and astrology is wicked when they are naturally astronomers and astrologists. So they were literally taught that they are wicked. So when you teach people that they are wicked, people are going to change their nature. Why? Because you just taught them that they were wicked. You just taught them that they weren't enough. You just taught them that they were insufficient. You just taught them that they don't have what it takes. That's a negative behavior. To tell somebody that they're wicked, to tell somebody that they're evil, to tell somebody that they're demonic. Yet, King James, because they really did do this to these people. You can go back to 1500 and check the history. In the 1500s, this is when the Spanish Inquisition was going, the Spanish conquistador was going on, as well as the African conquistador. Um, this is where the Africans and the Spanish and the Aztecs were making deals. Treaties were signed, treaties were formed. Um, some of the chiefs signed these treaties not understanding what it said because English has a dual nature. English can say this, but it can mean that. So you have to think these people spoke their native tongues, and their native tongues was not English. They actually spoke Iroquoian languages. Those was their native tongues, the mother tongue. And these are tongues that they have been speaking for thousands or millenniums. But we have been cut off from that knowledge of how to speak. We don't speak Choctaw. We don't speak Iroquois. We don't speak um, Inca. We don't speak none of those languages anymore. Why? Because the federal government made it illegal for these people to be indigenous. These people were not allowed to wear their furs. So what they supposed to wear? Well, the government will build them a store and they could come to the store and purchase their clothes from the store instead of getting their clothing off the land. Because now the government is providing a way to make money. Because if you watch Pocahontas, didn't some people pull up on the ship and change the way of life that Pocahontas was living? So what I mean by that, some people literally pulled up on a ship, and when these people pulled up on this ship, these people came to trade. These people came to do business. And when they did business with the big chiefs, slavery was a business. Slavery was booming. And what slavery greetings. What slavery actually was human trafficking. That's what slavery was. It was human trafficking. It is to own a human. They still doing the shit today. Whether they turn you into a X, SEX slave, whether they make you a domestic woman, whether they make you clean up, whether they force you to do anything that you don't want to do, you're bought and sold and you're owned by somebody else because they change your name, right? You could go watch a Lifetime movie. When they abduct these people, they change their name, they change their identity, they change their hair color, they change their physical presence so you wouldn't recognize them. Then they brainwash the people. Go watch one of the movies. They brainwash the people. They'll take the little girl who named Tabitha. We just using the example. Let's say the little girl named Tabitha. Honey, they will program that little girl that her name ain't Tabitha no more. This girl been 13 years old. Her name been Tabitha for 13 years old. Honey, they will get in her head and tamper with her soul and tell her. Because you have to think these is sorcerers you're dealing with. They got plenty of knowledge about your soul and how to control it, down to the color, down to the words, down to grooming you, grooming you with laws, grooming you with ideas, grooming you with the agenda. They'll show us the damn agenda. We watch the news, they be like, yeah, we finna, like basically they told us. In 2015, I knew that they was gonna make pedophilia legal. In 2015, I knew that. Why? Because they made bestiality legal. Most people don't study that. See, I got a gift. How do I know that? Honey, I knew in 2015 that bestiality, that's when you having relations with your dog, your cat, your hamster, your chicken, your bird. Honey, focus interacting with these animals. And I know that ain't nothing new under the sun. So they been doing this shit. It's just hidden from the proving. You feel me? That's us. We blind to this. Because basically what has happened is the people that was doing all the wicked shit got in charge some kind of way. Think about that. The wicked people is in charge. So the wicked people is gonna make everything that's wicked look okay. And everything that's righteous, they gonna make that look wicked. So they done switch the shit around. So you know when we over here lighting our candles, or we wearing our crystals, or we going outside saying affirmations to the sun, we look wicked. We look wicked because that's the power to fight. That's the power to get your emotions. When you outside talking to that moon, that's you getting in tune with your emotions. Because that's the weather. Whoever control the emotions control the weather. So when they control your moon, when they control your mini moons, think about years of your moons that you don't know nothing about. So that's you being unconscious of yourself. Because every night we should be going outside. We used to do this as a group, as a group, as a family. Greetings, greetings. We got to start doing that again. Those are some of the things that I would like to do. For one, I would like to teach culture. And before you get prideful and say how you gonna teach culture, explain because I know everybody not, but listen, you will be surprised what I be dealing with. Um, I actually have different books that teach us about these cultures. One of the things is the 13 moons. Being in tune with the moon cycle. Knowing if the moon is waning, knowing if the moon is waning. Well, waning is waning, but knowing if the moon is waxing, knowing if the moon is full, knowing if it's a new moon. Because new moon is new intentions, affirmations. We should be having affirmation parties. But I don't know who I could invite to my affirmation party because I don't know who's into affirmations like I am because this is the culture. And none of my people really have culture. Why? Because they made it illegal to be indigenous. So a lot of us think this stuff is wicked. A lot of us think it's evil. A lot of us think it's not important. A lot of us are like, well, I have to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. I don't have time for culture. But then we wonder how we got distracted. Then we wonder how they got us in this predicament. Because they constantly gave us something to do. That's what the Romans have always done since the beginning of the time. They have always kept everybody entertained. The Roman arenas are the football stadiums, the basketball stadiums, the sports, the entertainment. Why is it like that? We used to use them for ritual purposes. We used to use, because think about them teams. We going to do a live talking about them teams, but I want y'all to think about them teams. Yes, okay. Yashudra said, I used to say and speak to the moon and the sun on my way to work. I need to get back to that, right? Right? We do. We got to get in tune with nature because we get distracted, you know. But they made it illegal. They made it illegal to talk to the sun and the moon. That's why we don't see the pyramids outside with the monkey with his hands up. Because if we went outside and we saw them statues, honey, we'll remember. But that's why the statues don't exist no more. That's why they tore them down. They ruined them. Why? Because all those statues was created for purpose. Honey, we used to do ceremonies and rituals. Meaning, every full moon, our village getting together and we doing some ritual things. Every waning moon, we getting together. You know, we was doing rituals as far as planting seeds. Literally, because you know, when it's a new moon, that's when we gonna go out there and plant them seeds. So these seeds can grow because it's a new moon. Okay? It's a new cycle. It's a new season. Every new moon, it's a new season. That's why the zodiac is connected to it because we astrologers too, right? Come on now. So we wasn't just getting our planting together. We was getting our lives together too. Because we was able to plant things in ourselves. We was able to change new habits. We was able to change our nature as a unit. Everybody. You know, like right now, everybody is start doing shadow work. Why? Because we all need to do shadow work. We all need to heal. We all need to release some stuff. We all need to forgive somebody. We all need to tap into that. So that should be a ceremony, which is a ritual, and it should be something that we do all the time to heal ourselves. But if people lack knowledge, because we can't be out there healing as a unit, and then your aunt talking about we doing witchcraft, and your grandma out there saying we doing voodoo, your uncle out there accusing us of being warlocks, because we out there putting the Orisha vevas in the ground. Somebody done brung some fruit with some honey on it to make an offering to the ancestors. Now your aunt scared. Why? Because she lacked knowledge that that's an offering. She lacked knowledge that these are the ancestors. She lacked knowledge about ancestor altar. I'm just saying, we be lacking knowledge, people. And then we want to get all prideful and stuff when somebody tells us we lack knowledge. Because I be telling my family, like, we lack knowledge. Well, you think you know everything. Why I got to know everything when I say we lack knowledge? But then when you tell me you ain't full of pride. But you attacking me for telling you that we is in bad shape. I said we. I included me in it. But you gonna come for me and tell me I'm wicked. But I'm the person in the family coming up with solutions. I'm the person in the family reading books to help us become a better people. I'm the person that's learning if we use this herb to treat this, if we use that herb to treat that. Well, maybe we need to grow our own herbs so we can have access to them. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure, being an herbalist, herbs are expensive. Herbs are expensive. And then when you go buy them, you don't know what the shelf life on them is. So you don't know how potent they are. And then when you go as a business owner to help people heal, I done set up here about $1,000 worth of herbs. So then when I put the herbs into packaging, because I've done my research that if I put this herb with this herb with that herb, if I measure it and it's this much, if I put them together, if I take this much every day for this many days, I will get these results. I did my research. But because I'm not a doctor, because people are programmed, I could present that same medicine to a family member or a friend and they won't take me serious because I don't have on a white lab coat jacket. They won't take me serious because I didn't bill them thousands of dollars to come and see me. They don't take me serious because I don't have a degree up on my wall to say that I went to somebody's school for 10 years to study this shit. But yet you could come in my house and see I got my own library. You could come in my house and see I got the herbs, I got the measuring cups, I got the, I weighed it up. I did everything that they did. But for some odd strange reason, I'm not good enough for you. And you know why I'm not good enough for you? Because the psychology is I look like you. Did you hear that? Psychology is because I look like you. And because I look like you have been programmed that you're not good enough. So for when you see me, you gonna treat me the way you treat yourself. So that becomes self-reflection. And that self-reflection was designed to keep us all toward in. Because they gave it to all of us. Because we naturally will tear each other down. You can make an oil and tell me that this oil is healing. Tell me if I put this oil on it, it could soothe my anxiety. Why? Because you did your research, you studied it. You went and bought this book, that book. You went and sat at this class. That I didn't ask you your accreditations. I'm just saying, you could tell me that you could sell me this oil, but because you look like me, I'm gonna think you trying to get over. Greetings, greetings. I'ma think you trying to get over on me. If y'all could hit the like button up there, gratitude, y'all. If y'all could hit the like button when y'all coming in the wrong, gratitude, let TikTok know y'all like this. Or where I'm at, YouTube, let YouTube know y'all like this. Gratitude. Yeah. So, but people will do that, y'all. So now I'm not gonna buy the oil from you because you look like me. It don't have nothing to do. That oil might change my life because it's your knowledge, it's your power, it's what you put into that oil. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But I'm just saying, you never know what somebody' mental capacity is. Like me, I was sick when I was 9 years old. So being sick, they told me I couldn't walk. They told me I couldn't. This now I'm 9. These folk telling me I ain't gonna be able to walk when I'm grown. These folk telling me I ain't gonna be able to have children. These folk telling me about my future, bro. I'm 9. That's destiny swapping like a mug, ain't it? These folk program they was projecting that shit onto me. Like when you get older, you ain't gonna be able to walk. When you get older, you ain't gonna be able to do this. You ain't gonna. So I'm a child. No, I don't know what an affirmation is. I don't know how to cast out what somebody said to me. I don't know how to turn the words around. So I'm sitting in there and these people telling me how I ain't gonna walk when I'm older. I ain't gonna be able to have kids. I'm gonna be this adult. I'm gonna have to get SSI. I don't even know what SSI is when I'm a child, but I know I'm gonna have to get it. I'm over here messed up, right? Then they put me on pills. Bro, by the time I'm 18, I'm on 20 different pills. How y'all got me on 20 different pills? I'm 20. How y'all got me? Where they do that at? Y'all got me on Remeron, Vioxx, Neurontin, Naproxen. What else was I on? That's how I learned what acetaminophen is. I was on two different inflammation pills. I didn't even know what inflammation was, y'all. It got so bad. I started studying this stuff. You understand? I was reading medical. Oh, okay. So that's how I got into essential oils in 1998. Keep in mind, wasn't no internet. The internet just came out. Windows 98 just came out. I ain't know how to work it. I had to go to the library and read. Actually, take a look in a book and read. Actually, take the book home, rent it for 3 or 4 days, and take notes. Do a little essay. Do a book report. That's how I get down. That's how I roll. I'm doing essays over here. You feel me? That's how we used to learn at school, right? So as I got to doing all this research for years, I know a little bit about the body. Why? Because I stopped taking whatever. Because I had to think about it. When I was sick, I went to. I had a primary doctor. I had a specialist for what they call arthritis because they said I had arthritis. So I had an arthritis specialist. I had to go to a pain clinic. And also, I had a therapist, a physical therapist, and I had a psychiatrist, I had a psychologist, I had a psychotherapist. All of this. I had all these damn doctors, right? So, my psychotherapist is so the psychiatrist is prescribing like the Remeron and the Zoloft and the antidepressant pills, right? I got my doctor, who is the arthritis specialist, putting me on pain pills like naproxen and endomethacin and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I got a psychotherapist giving me pills too. My primary physician is giving me pills. So in my mind, I'm like, do these people know each other? Do these people put this in my notes? Because I got the, me, I'm inquisitive, very inquisitive, right? So I got to thinking, and I was like, damn, what's the side effects of this? What's the side effects of that? What's the side effects of this? So I found out that this medicine shouldn't be mixed with this other medicine because it was like, I started looking up the words. So I found out half the medicines I'm on shouldn't be mixing in my body. So I'm having chemical reactions and shit. So other problems are arriving because of my ignorance. And keep in mind, I'm 9 years old. Well, through ages 9 through 18. So from ages 9 through 18, I am on a journey figuring out that all these medicines is jacking my ass up. Especially the 2 times I almost died. I was in the hospital and they didn't know what was wrong with me. My heartbeat was irregular. That was that damn medicine. That was the medicine. I was on the Demerol drip. Why am I on the Demerol drip? My heartbeat skipping beats. They had to call heart specialists in. They told my mama they don't know if I'ma make it through the night. I knew shit was real when my cousins from Tennessee came in and they like, let's pray. Then my cousins from Alabama came. They want to pray to, bruh. Who had? Where are all these people coming from? You know shit real when you laying in the hospital bed and your cousins from out of town come in talking about let's pray. You know your ass is in some trouble. And then another set of cousins from out of town just happened to come in. People got car keys in their hand and shit crying. What is y'all doing? We gotta pray. Pray. Cause that's where my I don't know if you ever been in that position, but you ever been about to die and somebody suggests that we pray? Um, Pray. Cause at one point in time, prayer was important to me. It was very important to me because it wasn't even a prayer. It was them speaking life. I had to learn that because they was speaking life on me. They started prophesying life over me. They started speaking to dead bones. That's prophecy. Greetings, greetings, medicine woman. That's prophecy. So she started speaking over my body, speaking life over me. So I walked up out that hospital, and I'm gonna tell you what. When I was 21 years old, honey, I ain't took a pill since I was 21. Baby, I don't, baby. Them folk try to kill my ass. You know, as a disclaimer, I'm not telling you not to take yours. You take yours if that's what them folk told you to, because you listen to them folk. I ain't got nothing. I ain't nobody. But I'm going to tell you, when it comes to me and my body, I don't take them folk poison. I don't, because I don't know what's in that shit. Just like people questioning me for making herbal tea, go question that person giving you that white pill. Because what's in that? I know what's in these herbs over here. I know what effect I know what's gonna happen when I drink this moringa leaf. I know what's gonna happen when I had this soursop. I know what's gonna go down when I put this mint in my tea. When I get this hibiscus leaf, I know what's happening when I'm dealing with these herbs. But then when it come down to them pills, bro, them pills be having side effects. Them pills, that's why folk having children with genetic problems right now. You feel me? Yes. Come on now. But I'm just, I take my chances with some herb, with some leaves outside. That's where I'm at with the shit. I would take my phone outside, and honey, I would go outside and read some herb books and find that shit outside before I be just letting people play Russian roulette with my life. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I went to the hospital when I almost died when I was 21. My doctor was the same age as me. I remember that. Cause I looked over at my life. I'm about to die, y'all. When you about to die, they they send the doctor on shift in the room. The doctor on shift. You, that's rolling dice, bro. I don't know this doctor on shift. They just got out of school last week. I'm a hairstylist. I ain't gonna hold you. When I first got out of hair school, let me explain to you. I was dyeing folk hair green. Honey, I was cutting folk hair too short. I was leaving holes in folk head. Honey, cause I ain't had that experience yet. It take years to get experience. It take you to mess folk up to get experience. It take you to cut folk hair too short to learn not to cut it too short. It take your clipper guard to fall off for you to learn how to hold it on there so it don't fall off no more. These mistakes is critical, and you have to make them in order to get to the perfection. So while I'm saying, if she just got out of hair, if she just got out of medical school, she ain't made enough mistakes for me. My life ain't the damn, and we won't be practicing with me because these folk practice medicine, bro. See, I'm a hairstylist. I cut hella doctor hair. They told me out they own mouth. They say they practice medicine. You practicing? Come again? Yeah, I have a license to practice. Practice? Yeah, that's what it's called. It's my practice. Practice? So you practicing on my shit? Oh, okay. Because that's all I needed to know. You was practicing. That was it. I won't be getting practice on. I tell you that. I practice on my own damn self first, cause I trust my knowledge. Cause who's to say? Cause I ain't trying to be funny. I went and worked in the corporate salon, working in the nicest neighborhood, and I cut the people hair that lived in it. Some of these folk couldn't even sit in the chair. I'm talking about motor wise. I'm talking about psychology. I'm talking about no intelligence. They see the chair ain't mounted down to the floor and step on the top of the chair and flip the chair over. You see the chair ain't mounted down. But you out here prescribing medicine and you can't even sit in the chair. You can't even sit in the shampoo bowl and put your neck in the damn hole. You you gotta see this shit for yourself. Like, how's you somebody doctor? You can't even sit in the like you, yo. Where's your intelligence at? And you out here writing prescriptions for people? I question that shit because some of these folk, I took. Did I tell you I took care of MRDD? Did I tell you I did that for 20 years too? Yeah, I work with people with mental disabilities. Some of these people was mentally retarded. Some of these people was incest. Some of these people have genetic diseases that cause them to have mental disabilities, meaning they don't think like you, they don't talk like you, they don't apply themselves like you, motor skill issues, actually need assistance in order to be integrated into society. And I've worked with these type of people for over 20 years. So let me explain to you, when you have money, because some of these people have money, you can throw a little money around and get your child an education to where your child can function in the society, but the child still is an MRDD patient. You understand? So you can use nepotism, because nepotism is where you own your own practice and you could give somebody a job at the practice. But because we lack knowledge of this, you could take somebody that is mentally slow, mentally incapable. Like say your son is Forrest Gump. Now we all know Forrest Gump a little slow, but that's your son, and you love him, and you know good and damn well ain't nobody gonna hire his ass. So you give him a job at your practice. But honey, you on vacation. You out the country. He up at the job running the job, honey. I'm just saying this nepotism, y'all. I know you probably like, well, he don't got a license and it's illegal. But you looked around. Man, they got nurses out here that don't got license, bro. It's hair. Y'all better wake y'all ass up, bro. It's hairstylists that don't have license, bro. Do you know it's people that's living in apartments and that's not their real identity? Do you know it's people that, like, bro, the scamming, like, wake your ass up. Wake your ass up. It's called a con artist, honey. They out here. Stay woke. Some like did some of these people, you have to think about this when you go to the college and stuff, and some of these dudes that's in college or whatever, some of them is partying, getting drunk, and getting high, honey. And they got somebody else, they little girlfriend or somebody like that, doing their homework. You don't know that because you ain't there. Because I'm telling you, this that white privilege shit, right? You don't get to see it. You don't get to know about it. But I'm telling you, people are the same. So you get this dude. But you know, because our community, we think white is right. For real, we think white is right. So you can have this, excuse my language, y'all, but you can have this Caucasian boy who he a party. He just like our brother. You know what I'm saying? He just like our brother Rico or somebody, Ain't got his shit together. We wouldn't let him wash our car, right? I'm just saying, cause we got brothers and cousins out here that we wouldn't let him walk our dog, right? Well, this little Caucasian dude only thing is we see him as Caucasian. So we become blind in our mind that he got the same energy as our little cousin that we wouldn't let walk our dog. So this boy in here getting high, drinking, smoking, because he's an athlete or whatever. He probably don't do drugs because he's an athlete, but whatever. He could have somebody do his homework and cheat his way to the top. And if he cheats his way to the top, let's say for instance he a lawyer, but he cheated, he ain't gonna be a good lawyer in the courtroom. Why? Because somebody he paid his way through college. He paid somebody to do their homework for him. Just like you ain't about to let your cousin who a scammer do it, you ain't finna let this dude, but you don't know this dude is scammer. Because all you see is the white lab coat, you see his skin tone, and you blinding your man to who you looking at. And it happens all the time. Because people be blinding they man. People think white is right. I done seen my aunts do it. I done seen my grandma do it. I done sat there and told my grandma, like, you could take this and you could do this and you could do that, to drink the oregano and da 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 da. My grandma would go ask a doctor. And that made me feel some type of way about myself because it's like, damn, grandma, I just sat here and told you this, and that, and this, and that, because we living in the internet age too. You got to think about that, y'all. We could sit on TikTok and learn how to build a damn house. You could get on YouTube and fix your car. I'm just saying the way the internet set up nowadays, man. You got access to knowledge. You can shit. You could damn near you could deliver a baby and shit messing around with YouTube. But I'm just saying, like I said before, our people are so mentally ill that because they look like you and you look like them, they not gonna take you serious. That's the program. When we was the healers, we was really the healers, y'all. We was really out here growing herbs to help people heal. We was really able to give people advice. We was able to, you know, tell people like, hey, I experienced this and this is what I did to get over it. Or I went through that. This is what I experienced. This is what I did. This is how I got through it. We don't do that as a people. I mean, us, because we conscious. So, one of y'all say to me, like, hey, you should you got mucus, get you some Molin tea. I'ma listen. Cause why y'all tell me that? Y'all looked it up. Y'all know. I'm not about to look at you sideways and be like, well, where did you go to school at? I need to see your accreditations. What college? Did you go to Yale or did you go to an Ivy League? I don't need to see all that. Do you see? You can't just pull up to your people no more and tell them nothing because they lack knowledge. But they'll look at you like you the one don't know stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we was the Aztecs, y'all. We still are. And they made it illegal. They made it illegal for us to, what's the word I want to say? They made it illegal for us to um be ourselves. So now we depend on the industry. We depend on doctors. We depend on pharmacies. We no longer go to the land. We are no longer going to the plants and animals asking them. We are no longer asking the trees. We are no longer asking the ancestors. We are no longer doing it. We program. We go to facilities now. We go to institutions now. We go to the mercenaries. Um, they give us pills. We don't ask questions. We take them. They have side effects. They mess us up in the long run. I mean, some of us know because we've been there, done that, got a T-shirt. But our people are really jacked up. It's a lot of people you can't tell them that. folk won't take you. You can, honey, show up with the book with herbs. You can show up with the best book of herbs that they got. People ain't gonna take you serious because they lack knowledge. That's why my people will be destroyed because we don't know that we used to be shamans and healers, and this is our ancient birthrights. But yeah, so I give gratitude. I wanted to come and drop some gems on my YouTube page first before I get my day started. That way I'll make sure I interacted with my YouTube family. So that's gonna be the move. Y'all just gonna get the first tea first. But I am working on getting my images on there. So when I do my lives I can show y'all the images and everything. I need to show y'all these ebooks I got. That's probably what I do a little later on today. Cause I could show y'all these ebooks that I got. Oh my god, the ebooks are amazing. Yeah, I think I will do that a little later on today and show y'all the ebooks because these ebooks are doggone amazing. But I give gratitude to everyone that watched, shared, like, hearted. They do have an option on here where you can gift and thanks and you can tip. Like you say up there where it got the money sign at the top. That's what those are. So that's a super chat. So in the super chat you could purchase stickers, memberships, um, and different little things like that. But it's up at the top there. So I definitely give gratitude and I will talk to all y'all beautiful souls real soon. Peace.